I don't know if you can hear the birds, but listen, isn't this pretty? Sun's already coming up. Look at that. Wow. It's so nice. Oh my God. This is off our balcony, off the bedroom, and there's a door to get into the living room. Oh, it's supposed to be a beautiful day today. This is our first full day here in St. John. I went to bed early last night because I was tired. But we got a rock of 4 iguanas on this rock, and they're starting to move. That one just spit something out.
On his way.
That one's
Somewhere.
going down to the water. I wonder if they're part of the exhibit or just naturally there.
No, because it looks like they can just go into the water. Oh, there's my pelican. I'm thinking that they're pretty well taken care of and fed here, so they're going to come back, I would think.
Yeah.
So, but they let them run
Yes.
free.
Well, hi. I see you looking at us. You look at him.
He's posing for you.
That's funny.
He's like, would you take the damn picture off?
Look, everybody. I don't want to get in anybody's way taking pictures. I just
Oh, no,
want
go
to...
ahead, go ahead.
You're on video, little guy. You're not very little, though. You're like 2 feet, I guess. The tail and everything. I see you there. Look at you.
Because I just turned off my Wi-Fi and
He has MySpace. Yeah. There's some big turtles in here. They're floating on over there by the waterfall right now.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. He's coming towards us. Oh, that's a big turtle. Wow, look at that big turtle. This is called Coral World, right by Cookie Point Beach. That's amazing. I just want to go in and swim with him. I want to.
That's buddy. Oh, here you are.
Oh, look, he's coming up on the rock. Wow, that is so cool. Lots of tarpon. Isn't this beautiful, you guys? Look at that water. Look how clear it is. These are the fish that we saw. We saw a huge one at Key West. It was just sitting there looking at us. Remember that, Dan?
Yeah.
Look how clear that water is. Windy out today.
It's great.
Yeah.
Gosh, how do you tell them apart?
I was gonna say. You're gonna see. That is Jumbi. That's Johnny.
Wow.
That's how I do it. If anything else messes up, I'm good. The vitamins have been received.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're gonna talk about our lemon sharks. As I said, their names are Johnny Cake and Jumbi. You can tell them apart by coloration. They also have different caudal fin. One is more oval, and then the other one's more like pointy, and that's just due to like accidents and sharks being sharks. So that is how we can tell them apart. You can see them together. One is a little bit darker than the other. And if you look at the caudal fin, sometimes it's hard to look at. Johnny Cake has more oval, and then Jumbi here has a more pointed. Other than that, they have different personalities. One is a ladies' man, and the other one is like, I don't care. He's like, I don't care who's in here. It doesn't matter to me. Now, lemon sharks are really awesome and unique where when they're babies, moms have them at the exact place that they were to survive out there in the wild before we place you back out there. So our 2 boys here are actually on the list to be released by the end of this month. Come on. Turn it around. You know who's going to eat it for you? Jimmy did. So sorry.
What are you feeding them there?
So we're feeding them capelin and squid. Usually out in the wild, these pelagic species, they're going to be eating a variety of different fish. Their favorite fish is like usually mullets, the more bony type of fish. But we feed them capelin and squid here. But they'll have a more variety of diets when they head out there.
How do you know if they all got fed and stuff? Did you just know?
So for the lemon sharks, I know they got fed by just feeding the individual I like specifically want to feed. So usually I'll feed like Jumbi one, Johnny Cake one at a time to make sure that they're getting their dietary. Or something like that where Johnny Cake missed his whole diet and Jumbi ate it for him. I know that I need to give Johnny Cake 2 more because Jumbi has 2 of them.
How much of each species is in there?
So we have 2 lemon sharks. Those are the ones that are floating at the top right now. And then you're going to see 6 nurse sharks at the bottom right there. Just
Okay.
so our nurse sharks are fed entirely differently because these guys are benthic species. And basically what that means is more so they're going to be staying along the bottom there, just like how stingrays are. And they're going to be sifting through the sand. So for our nurse sharks, what we do is that we stuff their diet in conchs like this. And then we'll toss it in there for them, and they'll suck the conchs, the food. Right over here in this corner. I have 2 more. And then you go to that end for me. And then one more person right here. Thank you. All right. So everybody's set in their position. And the first thing you're going to do is make sure that there's a shark in front of you. And we're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Good job, everybody.
Look at him swarming around real quick now.
Oh, he just took it. There he goes with it.
Did he? Oh my God.
Oh my God. You're going to see them go upside down, turn around, just to make sure they're the first ones to get those conchs. Great job. You guys going to say thank you to the guests? No?
Oh,
Busy. So
that is great.
All right, guys. The last thing I want to leave with you guys is that things to remember
That was
to
cool.
help our shark
Look at that.
population out there.
That's neat.
It's a little conservation message is that we affect animals in every single way. For sharks, it's like makeup ladies, making sure that we check our makeup ingredients. Right now, they are making beautiful makeup out of shark liver, which is not great. They're tossing the entire shark in the trash. That is not going back into the environment. So making sure that we're not supporting those things. I think they say Matt is one of those.
Matt.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
My turtle t-shirt today.
Oh, look at them. They're both coming over here. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi, you guys.
They're
Oh,
hugging each other.
oh, probably brother and sister or family now.
They're
Or
like,
something.
Jen, look what you could be doing, but I'm going to hug this guy instead.
I know, it's rude.
He's going to tease right in front of you.
They are. They're great. And these are different than the ones in the ocean, but at least they're turtles. Well, no, they're in the ocean too, but there's different species all in the
there
turtle.
said there's like 7 different
Species.
of
There
sea
is,
turtles.
yes.
They're all endangered. Yeah, green
Oh,
sea
that's a
turtles
shame.
are one of 7 species of sea turtles around the world.
Really?
And one of 3 found here in the Virgin Islands. The other 2 are found here are hawksbill and leatherbacks.
Oh, look how close they are. Thank you. That's interesting. Look how close they are to us.
So gentle.
Oh.
Two snot balls at. What time is our next call?
Toothbrushing day, so they all have their own little toothbrush. We use a little baking soda water mixture and then we test their teeth. Just because, to make sure it's nice and healthy and that everything looks okay. This is Rico right here. Looks like he's coming to say hi to y'all real quick.
Oh.
He's one of our boys.
Where'd it go?
Next I'll talk about their eyes a little bit. So they're able to use monocular vision.
There it
which
is.
means that they can look at 2 different directions at once. So they could be using one
Look,
eye,
here it comes.
looking down into the ocean, seeing what's all happening down there, and then they could be using the other eye and looking into the outside world and seeing what's happening there at the same exact time, which is super cool. But they're also able to use binocular vision, which is what we use, using both eyes at the same time, looking at someone or something. But they have great vision. They go there and can see as good in the water as they can out of the water. Next I'll talk about a little bit of their blowhole.
Oh my gosh,
That's
it's-
right there.
Look at
And then this is Tatum as well.
how close.
So Nolani is our mom, and then Tatum is our newest Dolphin that joined us. He's been here for about a year now. Yeah, but they're blowholes, so they were demonstrating that for me right there. But they breathe differently than us. So when we breathe, we inhale and then we exhale. Dolphins actually do the opposite.
Duncan and Chelonia. Duncan's going to be hanging out with me. Chelonia is over with Sam. These guys are 2 of our 4 green sea turtles that we have here at Coral World. All 4 are females, all 4 are rescues. I like to start with a little bit of their individual history and then we can talk about the species as a whole. Chelonia back there was the first arrival at Coral World. She actually came in with 19 siblings total. Whoa. Most of them were able to be released, however, a few were not. Now, the situation that they got found in was unfortunately that their nest had collapsed. What that means is that when the babies are emerging out of that nest, sometimes sand can kind of collapse back inside and that nest fails. It can trap some little hatchlings inside. Luckily, we do a lot of sea turtle research around here, and so some park rangers were actually monitoring those nests. They were getting in there to dig them out. That is part of a study where they're counting how many eggs are in the nest, how many are non-viable, how many hatched, and so on. And they found our girls. I said 19 total. Most of them were able to be released. A few were not. And then we have Duncan here. She was found a year later in the same situation. She actually had a case of pneumonia at the time, though. She actually had a pit stop over in the St. Croix Aquarium, though, where she lived until 2002. They closed down at that point due to hurricane damage. And she needed a forever home because, like the other 3 that we have here, she had also been deemed not releasable. We just couldn't say no to the face, so we brought her over, and she is now an adopted sibling to the others. The other thing that makes all 4 of our girls non-releasable is actually a genetic mutation of their shell called extra scutes. Scutes are each of these plates that make up their carapace or their shell. Depending on the species of sea turtle, they have a very specific number of plates that should make a very specific pattern. It makes it really easy to tell if there's too few or too many. Our girls had too many. We could actually find them if we can get Duncan in the right position. Duncan's are down the middle there. She has a rectangular one and an almost perfect square. Those are her extras. When they're babies, what that does is it affects their buoyancy by creating kind of a molehill on their back, and then they're not able to dive up and down to the water column and get their snacks. The primary snack to a growing sea turtle is going to be jellyfish. Although in adulthood, it is all veggies all day. We do know now, and it was almost 30 years later, that that genetic mutation does not affect them as severely as we thought. Most of them can kind of grow out of it, essentially, where their shell does flatten out and it no longer affects their buoyancy. However, we just didn't know that at the time. Science hadn't quite caught up. And in fact, these girls have been a part of some of the original studies done on these extra scutes. However, after, like like I said, almost 30 years in human care, these girls have been absolutely spoiled rotten, as they deserve, but it does mean that they don't make the best wild sea turtles anymore. Duckpin here is super, super friendly. Her favorite food is a tomato, and those just simply don't grow in the ocean. Out in the ocean, they would naturally be foraging on sea turtle grass, which is a mix of different helps and seaweeds. But it's actually protected on behalf of all wild sea turtles. So we can't actually harvest that for these girls. Instead, what we're giving them is a nutritional equivalent. It consists of essentially a garden salad. We've got green peppers for them. We've got tomatoes, broccoli, romaine, green leaf, bacon, carrots, and vegetable. Please stay back there. Okay.
There, that
You can't feed them.
she's not eating, and then look at her plate. She's
A couple of my favorite facts about these sea turtles. The green sea turtles
going
have in
fast,
fact
though.
get their
Maybe
name from the
if you-
color of their shell, although Duncan is quite green on the back there. They actually get their name from the color of their insides. They eat so much plant matter, it actually dyes all their fat, their ligaments, and their organs all green. What you're seeing on their shell is an algae that grows.
That's so
We actually have to get in here about once in a week and give these girls a nice little spa day with a brush. We'll scrub that algae off of their back. They have nerve endings in their shell. They're able to feel us back there.
Oh, really?
Another one of my favorite facts is that the females have a really cool skill called natal homing. Natal homing is where they will return to the same beach where they were hatched and they'll lay their nest there. The theory being that they were successful having come from that spot. Hopefully their offspring will be as well. The offspring have about a 1 in 1,000 chance of making it to adulthood, so we're actually very lucky to have the 4 that we do, much less that they are in fact siblings as well. When these guys hatch out of the nest, they're about the size of an Oreo with legs essentially, and they look like an Oreo with legs.
Oh, really?
A lot of these ping pong ball sized eggs, and the females don't stick around or anything for those babies. Those babies are kind of on their own. They do that mad dash.
Oh, no.
Oh, I can't get it.
Oh.
So embarrassing. They do that mad dash for the ocean, and then for a long time we actually didn't know where the babies went. We actually know now that they live in these sargassum rafts. The sargassum is like where that kind of gnarly brown stuff that's choking out our
Oh,
some of our
really?
waters right now.
Okay.
It lives on big rafts way out there, and that's actually where the babies usually spend the
More
first 4 years of their lives. My goodness, it's like we've never seen food. Are there any questions so far? We have some late arrivals.
How many times a day do you feed them?
We feed them twice a day. So sea turtles are naturally grazers, so giving them multiple feeding opportunities throughout the day gives them more of a kind of a natural feeding behavior.
Wow.
They also will get different types of enrichment as well. Geez, sea turtles today.
Oh, no.
We'll also give them some like frozen enrichment as well. We can take these veggies, put them in a block of ice, and kind of give them a little bit of a challenge. It's a different way of giving them their same food items, just like a popsicle essentially.
Okay.
Usually we'll also throw them in these like big giant jolly balls and make them kind of forage and work for it. Which is kind of fun as well.
Okay.
Different ways that we can feed them and at different times as well. So.
Okay. Nice.
How long do they stay pregnant? How long are they pregnant? So it'll be they produce their eggs for about maybe hold on to them for about 2 to 3 months is the process. Okay. And we do have a little bit of that does happen at Coral World. Although we have all females, as long as their needs are being met, food, safety, shelter, these guys can, just like a chicken, start to produce eggs just on their own. Means that it's actually a big compliment to our care. It means that they feel secure enough to use that extra energy to do so. The Chelonia back there is actually in the process of doing it. Oh, I see we stole a broccoli. Okay. Chelonia is actually in the process of doing it. Our vets have confirmed that she has eggs in her system. They are not calcified though. It means that they don't have that shell yet. Sea turtles that are producing eggs without a male, obviously those eggs will be non-viable. What happens is they can do 2 things. One thing is that they will resort those eggs and just take the nutrients back for themselves. So there's no waste to that energy. Or what they have done also is because they're non-viable, they don't feel the need to nest properly. They'll just kind of poop them out right in the habitat and make us Aquarius go swimming. What's the black thing right there? And there? We've got a lot of rocks and we've got a lot of fish in here. kind of giving these guys a nice little no, we've just never seen food before, have we?
She really is going for it.
She loves the tomato.
What is
A
she?
little bit of conservation into all of our talks. Now that you guys love our sea turtles
Oh my God,
as much
look
as
at
I
her.
do, one of the best things
Oh,
that you guys
She
can
still
do
wants that tomato.
Oh.
sea turtles out in the wild
Get it.
is making sure that you guys are keeping a safe distance from turtles.
Use your flipper.
Sea turtles are a federally protected species. It is about up to a $10,000 fine and a year in jail for messing with them out in the wild. Wildlife will also leave you alone as long as you leave it alone. So giving them about a 6-foot distance. And then while you guys are on our beaches, making sure that you're leaving no trace out here. Picking up that furniture that could be an obstacle for a nesting female. Or picking up trash hatching things.
She is.
Like this. We gotta save some for later.
That's a question.
What is she dipping her?
Yeah, so with Chelonia producing eggs, it changes our husbandry and our care for them just a little bit. One thing that will start to happen is they start to crave a little bit of protein just because they're needing that little bit of extra energy and protein for those eggs. Until we get veterinary clearance to start offering her fish, what we can do instead is dip it in like fish chum, and it kind of makes it a little bit more enticing.
Okay.
They also get super picky about their food as well. So last year, Chelonia was refusing everything except broccoli. This year, Chelonia is craving only the romaine parts. That is the only thing that she's craving.
Oh, really?
Okay.
One thing that's really important for these guys is they're getting all of their freshwater needs from the food that they eat. So if they're not consuming enough food, they're not getting enough water, and then for us, it can mean if they go off into bad, it can mean that we're going to offer intravenous food.
She wants everybody.
How big can they get? How big can they get in the wild?
On average, they'll average between 150 and 400 pounds.
And how many feet is that usually?
Duncan here is 150 pounds per reference.
Okay, okay.
Our biggest girl across the way towards you again has cracked 300.
Wow.
They are over 20 years old. They are full grown. They are
Oh.
reproductively mature.
Sure, it's something.
So at this size, we don't see them growing too much more.
Okay.
We just leave your sister alone. Work on these scraps over here.
Yeah, the tomato is really what I want.
Any other questions, guys?
She keeps pushing it back.
Yes, ma'am.
Now she isn't going to get it.
How much is that? How old are they? So Duncan here is 28 years old, and the other two girls are 29. And they can live out in the wild. It'll be between 60 and 70 years, and upwards of 80. And in professional care, they can live 90 or more years.
I love
Right now, see, there's the oldest sea turtle known is Myrtle. Myrtle lives in the New England Aquarium. She is well over 90 years old, and she is still going strong.
Oh.
All the food. All the food that we give them is how they grow bigger and stronger. Yep.
They don't get them bigger than that, right?
No, this is so you'll average between 150 and 400. Duncan here is 150 exactly. We do know that for sure because we don't get things on. But she has sort of stopped growing at this size. So just like how Sam back there is taller than I am, these guys will also have like kind of an average size. So Duncan is a little bit on the petite side, but that's about max size for her.
If they had something,
You were ignoring me.
if they had something like holding on to the shell in the back, like how much weight could they carry? Like if I know you're not supposed to, and I wouldn't think about doing it, but if someone tried to hold on to the huh? Okay, that's all right.
I could BS an answer for you, but that's a really good question.
Do they have nerve endings in their shell so they can feel your touch and?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they do have nerve endings in their shell. They can absolutely feel us back there when we're doing our spot. And it's actually one of the ways that we can tell that Chelonia here is producing eggs. She is not a tactile animal at all. She does not like being handled. Her spa days are a disaster. However, when she starts to produce eggs, it's almost like a massage when you're pregnant. She gets really into it. She'll get these 200-pound butt wiggles going. She loves
Really?
it. And that can actually be one of our first signs that says, hey, Chelonia might be in egg season. What month is it? Duncan here loves her spa days as long as there's food in front of her. And another girl charging her guy across the way, you don't even need to offer snacks. She'll just come over for a stretch.
Oh, so they enjoy the scratches you sometimes, so that's good.
Yeah. Let me save this tomato here. I really want
She's gonna get your tomato.
falls apart.
Yay!
She says.
That's about as far as it extends. Yeah. They also can't pull their head and their flippers into their shell like tortoises can.
Oh.
Yeah. So their primary protection from predators is that shell. Well, guys, I'm kind of coming to the end of my spiel. I'm happy to hang out and answer any other questions that you guys
Yes,
have.
thank you very much. Clap, clap, clap. Yep.
Our next presentation is going to be the 11 o'clock sea lion presentation. That's in the Marine Gardens building. And then Sam there is going to be doing a tarpon feeding over at that top part of the Undersea Observatory. Up in that open section, we have a bunch of fish today that can't be used.
Rare to be seen in this part of the world, and they do look, act, and sound a bit different than those California sea lions that a lot of people are usually more familiar with. So the California sea lions overall are just a little bit smaller. They kind of have the more like narrow, pointier faces, and they're also the ones making that more like stereotypical dog-like barking noise a lot of people think of when they think of a sea lion. South American sea lions, on the other hand, they're just a bit bigger. They kind of have like wider, more smushed faces, almost a little bit more dog-like. They kind of look like the mix of like a pit bull and a pug a little bit. And they also do not make that barking noise. They make more of a roaring noise, which does sound pretty cool. I'm sure when our sea lion comes on out here, we'll be more than happy to show that off for you guys. We do have 6 South American sea lions here at Coral World. We have 4 boys and 2 girls. I can tell you guys a little bit about each of them while we are waiting for our sea lion to join us on.
Oh my gosh.
This is our trainer Charlotte with our sea lion.
Look at him.
Omar. He's super, super cute. He is
That's
one
okay.
of those 3 rescue sea lions I was telling you guys a little bit about, and he is 22 years old. So 22 is actually an amazing age for a sea lion, because it is a little bit on the older side. So in the wild, on average, sea lions are really only living to be about 15 years old. However, in professional care, that average lifespan does go up closer to 30 years old. And that is just a testament to the amazing care that we're able to provide for our sea lions. So he gets all the fish he needs every single day. He also only gets super high quality fish. There's no risk that he's going to accidentally eat a sick fish because we sort through every single fish that he eats before he eats it. He also has no predators in his pools back there that he has to worry about. There's no sharks, no killer whales that he needs to avoid. And the biggest reason they're living longer in professional care is because of the health care that we provide for them. So he gets daily health care every single day, but we also have vets on staff that can check him out. And if he's ever feeling a little bit sick or anything, they can help him feel all better. Awesome, guys. Now that he's out here, I think maybe you'd like to say hello to everybody. So we can all ask to hear him say hello together. So on the count of 3, we can all raise our hands up just like this, wiggle our fingers, and then say the word bark on 3. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Bark! Good.
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
All right, he's showing off that roaring noise for everybody. Did that maybe remind you guys of any particular land animal, maybe?
A tiger.
Yeah, like a
Lion.
lion or tiger. Yeah, lion is what I was looking for. It's in the name. So we do think that South American sea lions were probably the first species ever discovered by early explorers. Good. They just saw them on the beaches. They heard them making that lion-like roaring noise. They saw that lion's like mane, that the dominant males of the species are growing, and then they saw them jumping in the ocean. So they got super creative and decided to call them lions of the sea or sea lions, and then that name just ended up sticking for all the other species that were then discovered later on. But yeah, cool guys. On the Omar's out here, does anyone have any questions about him? Anything you're curious about? Good. No? Cool,
Does he
guys.
sleep?
Sorry?
Does he sleep?
Does he sleep? Yes, he does sleep. He's actually one of our sleepiest sea lions. So South American
That's
sea
right, he's a
lions
lazy
can-
one.
Yeah, he can sleep for upwards of 18 hours a day.
Oh.
So definitely they can be a pretty sleepy guys. And for the most part, they are going to be sleeping on land. Since they are mammals just like us, they do breathe air. It's a lot easier for them to obviously breathe while they're sleeping if they're laying on land. They do spend a lot of their day on land, but sometimes we do catch them taking little cat naps in the water as well. Yeah, awesome question. Does anyone have any other questions about it? Yeah, do we have a question back there? Yeah, what's your question? Can you do what? Good.
Oh.
Is he a sea lion? Yeah, he is a sea lion. Yeah.
Is it a dance or maybe it's a dance?
Oh, I mean, he does do some dances. Yeah, we could ask him to do a dance, maybe. So, which dance do you think he feels like doing right now?
I think he really wants to show off his really beautiful tap dance for everyone.
Okay, awesome, guys. Yeah, so he's going to show you guys how to can tap dance a little bit.
Okay.
So everyone who's standing, you can all take your right foot, just tap it a couple times on the ground, and everyone who's sitting can say the word tap on the count of 3.
Tap.
Ready? On the count of 3, guys. Not ready quite yet.
1, 2, 3,
Tap, 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 tap.
Yeah.
Tap, tap, tap.
Guys. That's his little tap dance that he has for you guys, but like showing that off right now.
Does he still breed or is he still too old?
Yeah, awesome question. So does he still breed? So Omar actually has never had any children. He's kind of just the fun uncle to our baby sea lion that we have here. We actually don't know if there is like an age where they can stop having children. Our female Rose, she did have Storm and she was 20 years old, which is still on that older side. So we were a little bit surprised by it. We didn't, like, there's not a lot of research done to show like what age they can stop having kids. So yeah, awesome question. Yeah, he's practicing some of his newer behaviors right now, trying to catch that frisbee. So yeah, that's something he's definitely working on. And yeah, I think I heard a question, is that a fish? So she was tossing some fish in his mouth there. He's been eating lots of fish while he's been out here. He does eat one other thing as well. I think you guys saw him spit it out earlier. But it's actually just a little bit of Jell-O. It's not Omar's favorite thing in the world, but it is good for them because we give it to him for extra hydration. It's just a little bit of gelatin and a whole lot of fresh water. There's no like fun flavorings, no Caribbean rum shots in there or anything like that. So maybe that's why he doesn't like it. But yeah, it is just for that extra hydration. It is kind of, if you compare it to like their fish is like a hamburger to us, and that Jell-O is like their vegetables. You know, sometimes it's kind of hard to get kids to eat their vegetables. Same for a sea lion, even though it's really good for them. But yeah, pretty cool. They do, obviously, sea lions out in the wild, they're not making those Jell-O shots. So they're just getting all of the hydration they need by breaking down the fat molecules in the fish that they're eating. So sea lions technically can get all of their water they need without eating Jell-O, but we're just overprotective sea lion parents here. Yeah, awesome, guys. Well, I can tell you guys a little bit more about what he's eating. So if you notice any sort of relationship with people, so they do have more of a risk of biting. So I would definitely never try to interact with a wild sea lion like how you've seen Omar and Charlotte interacting up here. Awesome, guys. Unfortunately, Omar is going to have to head back pretty soon. I told you he was our resident couch potato, so he takes nap time very seriously. So he definitely has one on his schedule he's got to get to. But how do you think he'd like to say goodbye?
I think he wants to show off his silly face for everybody.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, he wants to show his super cute silly face. So on the count of 3, everyone can take their finger, point it down just like this, and say the word tongue on 3.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Tongue.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Very silly.
Good.
Awesome, guys. Omar's going to get ready to head on back, but I hope that now that you've been hanging out with him, you've fallen in love with him, you can think about him when you're making choices. Exactly. Your daily life, so will affect his counter.
Wow, look at that.
Was that our turtle girl?
Too big for some.
Might have been. Down next to her. Look how pretty they are.
I think it's our turtle girl.
That's what you should see when you're snorkeling.
Yes. I seen a little bit of that yesterday, but not a lot. But by that one
The
spot.
color like that?
Yeah, around the rocks is where I saw some like that. They like the rocks, but they're not like this. So this is great. But here in Cookie Beach shows where you'll see a lot of fish like this.
Okay.
Wow, look at all the different kinds of fish.
Oh, they're pretty. Look at that. And the blue tips, they're pretty.
Yeah, it's also.
Dora, right?
Hi everybody, this is St. Thomas. We're on top of the Paradise Point, the ride that took us up on top of the mountain, and it was like $30 a piece to come up. And oh, there's Dan. Hi. Here we are in St. Thomas Paradise Point, going up the mountain up to the very top. See, we're in St. Thomas here near Charlotte Amalie, I guess, and there's 2 cruise ships in the distance. It was like $30 a person to come up, but you can also drive up here, and if you have the energy, you could probably walk up here too. Supposedly there's a way.
You're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Oh, today's Frank's birthday.
Oh, that's right. We got to do. Oh, that's nice to remember.
Yeah, it went right to voicemail, so I'll try again later. He's probably sleeping.
You probably had a rough night.
I'm sure he did.
Sex.
Or I would have slipped.
You would've walked up.
Or I would have slipped Felix a little bit more and been like, drive me up there, and I'll just meet you. Karen?
Here we are on the ride going back down. St. Thomas gondola ride.
Because I was behind you, so I could see it.
Then I
He
said,
said we weren't going to go on this one anyway. That's what he said.
And we're all getting down off the top of the mountain eventually.
Yeah.
You can be a bitch and I can throw you off, or you can.
Arms
up, here we go. Whee!
Oh wow, look at this. Wow, there we go. Whoa. Whoa, look at that.
Whee!
I told him have a nice day. And I smiled at him.
Have the day you deserve.
Yes,
correct
that's
terminology.
Yeah, that's what. Yes, you're right. That
I've
would have
been
been.
utilizing that.
That would have been a better.
Yeah.
What do you say when someone says, "What do you mean by that?" And I said, "Well."
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that breeze is beautiful.
Oh, it feels really good.
Hopefully the breeze at the beach. It just doesn't look like anything blowing in off the
Secret Harbor kind of leads me to believe it is kind of tucked away and it's secret.
Secret.
which means no wind. Which
I
means
don't
it's
know what it means.
supposed to be no.
Hopefully, it will be comfortable enough.
Yeah, I know.
Four, 5, and 6. Or 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. So maybe just 6 cars going.
To get on there to go up to have a bushwhacker.
They were the best, though. They were really good.
That strawberry one was tasty.
Yeah, they were both really good. Well, look how
It's
big.
like a rock, like a sea rocket at Ocean
God,
City.
look how big that other cruise ship is compared to this one.
I know.
It's like a hotel.
Yeah, now you can really see the difference.
Yeah.
Wow. I love the wind on this island. It helps. And we get
Get out lots of these.
Also, the safety net underneath.
Oh, yeah, in case you missed the,
In case you missed.
the platform.
That's good. We're at Sapphire Beach, St. Thomas today. There's big piles of sargassum on the beach, but it doesn't smell. Now, if it sits for weeks on end in a storage facility for them to get rid of it, it does stink. But this isn't too bad. But the water's really pretty, really good snorkeling over there to the right side. Over by the rocks you see along the side, way up there on the far right. Stay out about around that area, but not too close because you'll smash into the rocks. But there's all kinds of colorful fish and stuff. I've seen a big, large like conch shell with the big critter inside, and one of those, I don't know what they're called, but they're like a pencil snout, long, skinny fish. Lots of colorful fish. Didn't see no sharks, no barracuda or anything like that, but it's very neat. It's really pretty. Look how clear that water is. It's like a swimming pool, and it's the sargassum's a little rough here, and when you get out a little bit, it's a lot better. But it was well worth it. They have good food and drinks here, and we rented a cabana for the day, and it's very, very nice. Good time. It can be relaxing. It could be busy. They have all kinds of water sports to rent over there. So let's watch. There's a pelican just floating in the air, bringing us to St. John today. Just gliding on the air. We're going to Cinnamon and Trunk Bay today. This is Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to relax and just do laundry and stuff and get ready to go Saturday. It's like leaning all the way here. Hitching a ride on the wind. It's like out here today. It's choppy, but it usually gets coming over here. There's St. John. Just looking for what to get a fish. Going into St. John's, Cinnamon and Trunk Bay. It is a lot more calmer on St. John. It's not as touristy, and the beaches are more like untouched and stuff. It's definitely St. John is as touristy, which is nice. And the water and stuff seems to be even nicer. Coming up, the bird's back. He is just floating on the air. He did drive down for a bird over that side a while ago, and I was back up again. To be a bird, just be able to fly like that. Taking a video for a memory of what it's like to drive one of these open air taxis. Oh, we're going to see the lookout here too. There'll be something over here. Okay. Pretty. Head to Trunk Bay. Driving on the left-hand side of the road. Yeah. Really pretty, eh? It says it's a really bad drought here. It's usually not. It was greener than this when we came the last time. Still nice. I think there's another lookout up here. We're getting close. I think Trunk Bay is first. You would live in Costa Rica?
I would live in Costa Rica.
There's...
Can we take a picture?
I think that's Trunk Bay, isn't it?
That's Trunk Bay?
No, I don't think it is. Trunk Bay has the island. What is this place? It's very nice.
I don't know.
Wow.
But it's not too far away. That. Oh my God, it's dark. Oh, that's nice. It's pulling over. Look at that. I don't know what beach this is, but it's beautiful. Look at this. Mountains up there. Water is blue and clear. Naturally untouched almost. Here we are at Trunk Bay. It's very nice beach. Maho was good too. I think so. We said what? Trunk Bay, Maho, and then Megan's are the top three that we've been to. The other ones, Secret Harbor, I guess it was called, had a lot of seaweed and it was really crowded. But it was still nice, but the top three were them. Then we went to Sapphire, and it was kind of, but
Literally a flock of seagulls. I think I'll just start.
Do you want to take a picture? I'll go over there and have a chip and have them all come back. I'll take a video of it. You got him and his brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas. I think there are picnic tables back there with where you get your food. our hook, so that's what